Gregory Hartman was the kind of man who lived a quiet, simple life. He wasn't rich, wasn't flashy, and he didn't care to be. He worked long hours at his auto shop, came home every night to the same little house, and was always greeted by the same smile his wife Elaine, standing in the doorway, holding out a hot mug of tea. It was a ritual, a comfort. He never questioned it. That tea marked the end of his day and the warmth of a marriage he thought was built on love and loyalty. They'd been married for 12 years. No kids by choice. Just the two of them and their dog, Charlie. To the outside world, they were happy, unshakable. She baked for neighbors, organized food drives, and kept a garden full of sunflowers in the backyard. People said Elaine had a heart of gold. But what Gregory didn't know was that behind her smile was something rotten, something calculating, and deadly. It started subtly. He felt tired, more often than usual. At first, he chalked it up to age. He was in his early 40s, working 10-hour shifts on his feet, but the fatigue got worse. Soon, his hands were tingling. His legs felt weak. Then came the nausea, the dizziness, memory lapses. He went to doctors, 3 of them. They ran tests, blood work, scans. One said maybe it was a neurological issue. Another suggested early Parkinson's, but nothing explained why the symptoms were worsening so quickly, or why no treatment helped. Through it all, Elaine was by his side. She made his appointments, held his hand, made him soup, and kept those nightly teas coming, sometimes chamomile, sometimes mint, always with lemon and honey. She kissed his forehead and told him everything would be okay, and he believed her, until the dog Charlie refused to drink his water one night. Gregory had left his tea on the porch while he stepped inside. When he returned, he found Charlie sniffing the cup, but instead of licking it like he usually did, the dog whimpered and backed away. That small, odd moment stayed in Gregory's mind, a whisper of suspicion that refused to go quiet. The next night, Gregory didn't drink the tea. He waited until Elaine went upstairs, then quietly poured it into one of her potted plants. 3 days later, the plant was dead. Leaves black, the soil sour and crusted. Elaine said maybe he overwatered it, but Gregory knew. He knew something was wrong, something terrible. He didn't confront her. Not yet. He needed proof. He bought a small camera online and installed it under the kitchen cabinet, angled perfectly toward the stove. He watched for 4 days, and on the 4th day, he saw it. Elaine reached into a drawer beside the fridge, took out a tiny brown bottle, no label. She uncapped it, poured a few drops into his mug, and stirred it slowly before adding the lemon. Her face didn't change, no guilt, no hesitation, like she'd done it 100 times before. Gregory didn't sleep that night. He couldn't. The woman he loved, the one he trusted more than anyone's poisoning him, and doing it with the calm, loving face of a caregiver. He took the mug from that night, sealed it in a plastic bag, and drove 2 towns over to a private lab, paid in cash, asked for a toxicology screen. When the results came back, the answer hit him like a brick to the chest. Thallium, a heavy metal, odorless, tasteless, lethal in small doses, once used in rat poison, banned for decades.
She was poisoning him. Slowly, consistently, silently. He checked their life insurance policy. She'd updated it just a few months ago. Gregory hadn't noticed. He trusted her with the paperwork. The beneficiary, Elaine, the payout, $500,000. And then it all made sense. The tea, the symptoms, the sweetness in her voice. She wasn't nursing him. She was counting the days until he died. Gregory could have gone to the police. He had evidence. He had the video, the toxicology report, but he didn't. Maybe it was the betrayal. Maybe it was the rage. Maybe it was the feeling that justice through the system wouldn't feel like justice at all. So he waited. He played the part of the doting husband, ate her dinners, kissed her cheek, and he stopped drinking the tea. Night after night she brought it, and night after night he found a way to dump it, into plants, down the sink, into old soda cans he left in the garage. And one night, he made the tea. He brought it to her on a rainy Thursday evening. Chamomile, lemon, honey. She looked surprised, delighted. "You never make tea," she said. He smiled, trying something new. She took a sip. They watched television in silence. She drank the whole mug. An hour later, she started coughing. Soft at first, then harder. She clutched her stomach, her eyes glassed over. "Something's wrong," she whispered. Gregory didn't move, just stared. She stumbled to her knees, tried to reach for the phone. Her lips were pale, her breath shallow. She looked at him, terrified. He knelt beside her, leaned in close, and whispered, "That taste you've been giving me every night? I thought I'd return the favor." She collapsed in his arms. He called 911, said she'd passed out, said he didn't know why. Paramedics arrived and rushed her to the hospital, but it was too late. The autopsy found thallium in her system, the same poison Gregory had been ingesting for months. The police investigated, found the brown bottle in her drawer, her fingerprints on the cap. The video footage confirmed she'd been poisoning her husband. They called it a tragic case, a wife's dark secret exposed too late. No charges were filed against Gregory. They said it was self-defense, that he was the victim. But those closest to him knew. He didn't see himself as a victim. He saw himself as the executioner of a sentence she chose the moment she opened that bottle. And every night now, he sits on the porch, no tea, just a cold beer and his dog at his feet, watching the sunset in silence. Because when love becomes a weapon, sometimes the only justice is the one you serve yourself.